Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Fruit Talk with Big Booty Bodie and Dizaninator. Just kidding. We'll talk more about League of Legends.
Plums.
Plums? Yeah.
That was all I want to say.
Okay. We can move on to vegetables later if you wanted.
A plum's not a vegetable?
No, but I'm saying we can move forward from fruits and we can expand onto vegetables. It's a whole other topic. Maybe that can be our next Dazzles discussion is vegetables.
Talk about how much I love pickles.
Is a pickle a vegetable? I guess technically it is.
Well, no. Technically, a cucumber's a fruit.
Right. Okay. So pickle's a fruit. All right.
We had this conversation the other day. It's really finicky. But Vixen bans. Here we go. Grace. The Bard ban coming out. Much respect to Chaw's good. Probably don't want to deal with that with the bot lane. But the Zed ban as well going out to Oliver Closeoff.
Yeah, fair.
Doing work on that champion.
Giving them some respect. Definitely the Bard ban makes sense here for RDS. I'm surprised they didn't ban it in the first game, to be completely honest. It's something that we're just used to seeing banned all the time against Chaw's good, sorry. And the Azir ban finally here for Fellowship of the Nerds. Interesting ban as they leave Maokai open again for Lunshu, and they do first pick him. Maybe Azir just a favorite champion of bananas, and he just doesn't like playing into it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just a very questionable thing. I guess maybe it's another one of Oliver's more played champions. Maybe that was kind of the thing last game. They took Azir away and wanted to force that matchup, but it just didn't end up going that well.
Yeah.
But
so definitely interesting. The Morgana picked up as well. I think that's going to be support. Usually when Chawsgood doesn't play Bard, we often see him, go to the Morgana.
It's kind of his fallback, but definitely picking that up for himself. And then the Graga is getting into the hands of Bozka. That was banned away last game. Yeah. They actually banned Bard Kindred this game instead, and don't really want to deal with it. I'm very surprised Kindred was open last game, correct?
I think it was.
And no one picked it up?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe just a champion that either team likes playing. Interesting that, I'm interested in RDS's bans here. Like, where did the Graves ban come from all of a sudden out of nowhere?
Okay, honestly,
maybe it's a difference in being on blue side?
Everyone keeps saying that. Bosgood has basically had Graves perma-banned against him.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I've seen him play it in SKL. I haven't seen him play it in LCS either. Yeah. I haven't seen him play it in SKL, but they keep taking it away.
Yeah,
it's kind of peculiar.
Maybe every team is doing their homework, seeing their match history. Bananas Inc. hovering the Soraka. I love it. Bananas.
That's a shout out to Chaboy.
I've decided I'm going to be a Soraka main.
Yeah?
I was playing.
You were telling me earlier you want to play support.
Yeah,
Soraka
I was playing a lot of Soraka last night.
Well, I just want to let you know they are nerfing Grievous Wounds again, so rip Soraka's OP-ness, so they're cutting her OP-ness.
Sorry,
yeah.
Yeah, Soraka's what?
They're circumcising the OP-ness of poor Soraka and taking those heals. Not going to be as good, but they had to do something. That champion's dumb. It's
that's why I enjoy playing it. It's funny.
Ridiculous. But the Caitlyn pickup, I really like Caitlyn in this meta. I think she's very underrated.
Agreed.
You get that Infinity Edge, and then you go to the double attack speed item. It's very strong, and you do so much spread damage. You get your headshot every 3 autos at that point, as long as you're hitting all 3 targets.
Yep.
So it's huge.
I think that, I agree.
Almost as big as Soraka's OP-ness.
Is it as big as the horn on her head?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I can't open this can of worms. But I mean, just a lot of damage. And then Nautilus pickup, so I'm assuming that's going to go top lane for Herablo. Did see some bans. Or some nerfs, sorry. So it hasn't been as effective in that top lane, but...
Yeah, we haven't really talked much about the Lee Sin Braum rotation here.
Sorry, yeah.
No, for RDS Braum, I think Luke Duke had just a pretty adequate performance on the Braum last game. He wasn't anything spectacular, but certainly it wasn't a detriment to his team. Just an overall solid performance, like a Braum player should be. When you see a guy with that facial hair, you know he's going to be solid.
Stand behind Braum.
Stand behind Braum. These boots are too tight.
Wait. Okay. I'm going to go into this during the 3-minute break.
Okay.
But we do see here, we do have the Ezreal pickup. So Copyright's going to play that, and Luke Duke actually taking the Ahri, more of a Jay Frazier champion.
Yeah, that's a Jay Frazier special, but without him in the game, not going to take it. So they have left, first game they picked mid lane first for Bananas Inc. And now it looks like this game they will use the advantage of the red side counter pick for the mid lane, unless that is mid lane Nautilus, which isn't entirely unheard of. It's not entirely unheard of, but I would be surprised if that was the selection here. Going into Ahri, I really think, they can pick anything. I think, Corki would be a great pick, I think, in the mid lane.
I completely agree. And I was going to say, it would be nice for him to get that counter pick as he first picked Azir last game, so he didn't really get much. He's like, you know what? I don't know what we're against. Azir, let's do this. So
he really wanted to play it.
But this is a really good comp coming out from Fellowship of the Nerds. It's very pokey, but all the damage is going to be very reliant on keeping Caitlyn and Corki alive. And we saw Maokai do so good at locking them down and absorbing that damage. Very curious how they're going to be able to fare against Lunchu's Maokai. I'm surprised that wasn't actually taken away or banned.
Yeah, like I would have thought that would have been the ban instead of Azir. I don't understand the logic behind the Azir ban. I'm sure Fellowship has the reasoning, but I just don't see it unless it's really banana. Because Bananas Inc. obviously likes playing it enough and is comfortable enough with it to first pick it, then I would think he should know how to play against it. So I just don't think it's ban worthy.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It's questionable. Yeah. But hopefully going forward, they've got some kind of plan for it. They have the Corki, just get the AP, the AD damage. They've got a huge front line in Nautilus and Gragas, who does a decent amount of damage as well.
Oh, yeah.
And Morgana kind of for that picks and the peel potential with that black shield, so you're not going to be able to get snared by that Maokai. The good thing is that Lee Sin does fall off on RDS for Fellowship of the Nerds if they're going to kind of rely on going to that late game again. Really going to be able to utilize that Dragon Kick to try and get to his targets. But as far as laning phase goes, I'm definitely going to think that Baby Trog and Child's Good should dominate that lane with Caitlyn Morgana into the Braum Ezreal.
All right. Okay, so Desaninator, there was some chatter going on in Twitch chat there that you wanted to comment on.
Oh yes, thank you.
Go ahead, yeah.
Before DXI Edge he kind of came at me about me saying that you go IE as well as 2 attack speed items. He kind of forgot that I actually play the role, so I understand you build BF Sword into...
Yeah,
thank you.
And, for those of us who were watching your stream last night, we know DXA Edge, not a very strong ADC player.
Yeah, we...
Looking like you're doing some Spectate Bronze the other night.
Yeah, I mean, if DXI Edge would like us to release footage on ADK... No, this isn't... But I know, he is right. You do go the BF Sword into the attack speed items, but that wasn't exactly what I was... I just said go IE double attack speed. That's what it's at.
Was that what you wanted to comment on? Or?
Yeah. Coming at me like I was inaccurate on my statement, but I stand by that. So.
Yeah. Okay, so we have 2 team comps here.
Yes.
RDS picked up the game 1 victory. Now, who do you like here in game 2? And you know what? Usually we like to say just base it off of team comps, but that's dumb. You can't base who you think is going to win completely off of team comps because we have a ton of prior knowledge about both of these teams. So who do you like going into game 2, Blake?
Going into game 2, this is interesting. All right, game 2. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like the Nautilus pick coming up from Fellowship of the Nerds. Okay. I do like the Caitlyn Corki, but I feel like the Maokai is going to do a lot of negating the usefulness of just running the double AD carry.
Right.
I am going to give it to RDS this game.
All right.
Because I feel like they have a little more spread of damage and tankiness, but I believe that if it goes super late, Fellowship of the Nerds should be able to outscale. But with how close last game was, and the momentum going into this, I have to give the advantage to RDS in this one for me.
That's definitely fair. Definitely a fair pick. We saw, this is only a double AD carry comp, but we saw for Immortals how well picking a triple AD carry comp into a Maokai went for them.
Yeah, that's not very good. I mean, he just builds straight armor and no one can do anything to him, and then all your damage dealers are useless. So at least they didn't go Lucian top. That is true.
Yeah, true. That would have been an interesting pickup. For me, you're going RDS here. Touching your leg right now.
It was a very aggressive inner thigh grab.
Yeah, well, you are wearing pretty short shorts. You're showing a lot of thigh right now. You can't really see it on the... I could tilt the camera down.
Okay, time out. Before you give me this, I am 6'5". Do you know how hard it is to find shorts that are actually like a lot? They're actually not that short.
No, I know. It's just when you sit down, they ride up a little. And I mean, you do have
I don't wear short shorts.
you do have incredibly long legs.
Thank you.
It's not like I was complaining about being able to see a longer thigh.
Oh, okay. You're avoiding the question. Which team comp do you believe is better for this?
I think here for game 2, I went RDS last game. You went Fellowship of the Nerds. Here for game 2, you're going RDS. I think I'm gonna back up Fellowship of the Nerds here in game 2. We get another split here. I think Fellowship of the Nerds, they realize what's on the line here. They understand that, if they don't win this game, then we figure that out, right? If they don't win this game, they're out of playoffs? They have no chance? Or is there a tiebreaker?
I think it would depend. It would depend how Lunatic Peace does against RDS next week.
Right. But regardless,
because if they 2-0 here, then they would tie Fellowship for 4th place.
So if you're Fellowship of the Nerds, you do not want to leave that up to chance. You don't want to have to rely on that game between Lunatic Peace and RDS. I think they're going to take this game into their own hands. They're going to step their game up. We've seen what this team can do as there's a bit of a level 1 going on right now. They forced the flash out of Chosgood actually on the side of Fellowship here. RDS, they had a good invade. Oh, no, it was Fellowship with the invade last game, sorry. So RDS with the invade this game. But I think, as I was saying, Fellowship realizes what's on the line. We've seen, this isn't the strong Fellowship that we've seen from last season. And I really think they're going to dig deep here. Jeff Probst is standing on the sidelines shouting at them to dig deep. And I think they're going to pull it out here in game 2. I like their team comp. Like you said, it's double 80 carry into a Maokai, but Corki bringing in a little bit of mixed damage is going to help them out in that case, so it's not entirely 80.
And I mean, Grog is going to do a decent amount of damage with that Runic Echo. Not a ton. Don't get me wrong. The Corki is definitely going to be needed. But yeah, like you were saying, having a bit of that split damage into that Maokai going to be important. And it's really going to be. Caitlyn still has that problem of that mid game lull.
Yeah.
Where before you get the trinity of items, you really need to start doing a lot of damage. You kind of sit there in like an awkward build because you do get a couple of components before you start finishing actual items. So it's going to be kind of hard for him, where Ezreal is going to give him that time to scale.
Yeah, so I'm going Fellowship of the Nerds here in game 2. So the line is still drawn here on the caster desk. I was right last game, so I don't know. We didn't bet anything, but I think you owe me at least something.
We can discuss that off the stream.
We'll talk about that later.
I'm not going to lie, though. I think I would give the bot lane coming out from Fellowship of the Nerds a little more credit if they had the matching Lunar Wraith skins. But going with Officer Caitlyn, Officer Caitlyn's pretty good still.
Yeah, but yeah, the Skinergy, not very strong there in the bot lane. They don't have that Argon 53 all 5 project skin synergy that we saw last night. That was pretty cool.
Okay. So I'll wait till we have some. I just wanted to check the schedule and make sure. So yeah, Fellowship of the Nerds is 3 points behind Argon 53, who is in 3rd place. So if Fellowship loses this, they're stuck. They would be tied for 4th with RDS, but RDS has a game in hand playing against Lunatic Peace.
Right.
Lunatic Peace is also at 5 points with RDS right now, with 3 games left to be played next week.
Right.
So technically, if Lunatic Peace could make a run with all 3 wins, they could push their way all the way to tie for 3rd.
Wow. And that would be an incredible run by Lunatic Peace, but...
Oh, just kidding. They could tie for 2nd if they could win all 3.
Wow. That would be pretty incredible, but not to bash Lunatic Peace, but it's not the easiest 3 games, as Bananas Inc. Is getting burned down here, and that should finish it up, as that's first blood here, going over to RDS. But as I was saying, it's not the easiest 3 games. They have a game against Sasquatches, which apologies to Sasquatches, but I'm gonna have to say that should be an easy 2-0 for Lunatic Peace. But I'll get to that more on that later, as there's a gank going down in that bot lane. Looks like Bosgood story was making his presence felt down there, but nothing else going to come of it. So they had that game against Sasquatch, which should be a decently easy victory, but their other 2 games are against Vizmajor and RDS. So Vizmajor, that's going to be a tough game no matter what. I'd be surprised if Lunatic Beast could even take a game off of them. Unfortunately, as Vizmajor has been looking very strong late in the season here, finally having their full roster, and then RDS, That's going to be a very competitive series, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I still don't think you can give the old so you can't just count Sasquatches out. I mean, they did have a pretty good go.
That's
couple
true.
Of teams here.
Yeah, they did give they gave Argon 53 a little bit of a run for their money in that first game last night. The game went, I think, past 30 minutes even maybe. I wouldn't call it close, but it certainly wasn't a stomp by any means. And Argon 53, definitely one of the stronger teams in our league. So Sasquatches have definitely been improving as the season has progressed.
And that's what's important to me. And I love to see that they have made changes to their play style, their draft base. Because that's really, and I hope that doesn't deter them from trying again next year and coming back.
Podox and I really talked about that for a little bit after the game last night, is that Sasquatches have a lot of individually skilled players. They suffer in the macro play and their overall map play. So I think if they really, hit the rift in the offseason and work on that, I think they could come back even stronger next season.
Oh yeah, and that, I mean, hey, if you got a prize pool to work towards, at least you know that it's not in vain if you end up winning it. Right?
Yeah. So what we do have a game currently going on here, again with these playoff implications that we keep talking about, and this is what I love. It's so intense. When there's a lot on the line, both these teams bringing their A games, and it's made for a competitive series. That last game went 45 minutes, but it was so competitive and so exciting that you didn't even really notice the time going by. Because not to be a bit of a shit talker here, but sometimes you get these games where they go to 40 minutes and you really feel it drag on as a caster when you're watching the game. But I didn't feel it that last game because it was so competitive and so back and forth. But there is a gank here in the bot lane as Oliver Closeoff is roaming down from the mid lane, able to chunk out Baby Trog pretty heavily. Did burn some summoners there, but no kills picked up.
And that's the thing, Ari hitting level 6, just going for that roam, and having that early kill on Corki does give her a little bit of pressure in that lane. We do see Zero Invictus just kind of cover that lane while he is gone. And that's the thing, Ari is a very mobile champion, going to see probably a lot of roams coming ahead, especially since he did get ahead, has that CDR coming in from the Fiendish Codex, so going to be able to get around, fire those spells out. That ulti is going to be up a lot quicker, so as long as he keeps building that CDR, he'll be able to roam. Oh, we do see
the
Zero
flash
Invictus
from Zero Invictus, but then the flash forward from Bosgood, and I actually think Zero Invictus is going to get out of there, and Bosgood says, oh, I shouldn't have flashed.
That's tilting.
Yeah.
The old one auto away, couldn't even use a spell. Had already used them, so it's very unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely not ideal there, and great escape there by Zero Invictus.
Gotta give him props. Get out of there. You can't give away a kill, especially when the gold is even at this point. Even though they have that first blood advantage, the CS is definitely in the favor of Fellowship of the Nerds, especially in that top lane and the bot lane, where Caitlyn, just being such an oppressive laner, that range really doing a lot of work for you.
Oh yeah, definitely big in favor. You see just those spells from Corki, the Foss Bomb, the Gatling Gun, the Rockets doing a lot of damage on Oliver Closeoff. It's going to be some big trades there going on in that mid lane. Both those champions with a lot of damage dealing potential, and we're really seeing it here in this early game.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the Maokai going in here?
Yeah. Oh my God. Excuse me. I'm all right. Just choking a little bit. There was some trading in the top lane there. Loonshu getting the better of Harablo a little bit yet again. Loonshu, very strong top laner here for RDS. He really kind of he didn't get much in the way of kills onto Harablo in the laning phase last game, but I think he definitely came out on top for the most part. He had the CS advantage and was consistently winning trades against Harablo.
Yeah, and that was the thing, is I was very questionable about this Nautilus pick, but it does seem to be working all right for him. He actually rushes the Aegis, so going very supportive style, but they have to be very careful. Zero Invictus is there.
Yeah, looking to go for copyrights with the Arcane Shift forward, looking to find something, but not going to be able to pick anything up.
I'm sorry, I was trying to. They just jumped in one at a time. First the Arcane Shift, then the jump, and then the Braum jump after. It was just
you guys got to work on your timing. You got to get that rhythm. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. And then maybe there was a bit of lag on Skype. Maybe that was
lagged on Skype. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to get in Discord.
We understand that. I mean, when we try and sing on cue and Skype, it's hard. You're lagging. You got to do it at different times.
Yeah, that really tilts me, you, and Silky when we're trying to sing together.
Especially when Disney comes on and we can't help it.
you could ask. I was playing with Ponox and Zaramali and Pano last night. You can ask them. I was serenading them throughout the night while we were playing. Yeah. That's what you get. That's what you get when you play with me. If you're playing with me, then there's gonna be singing, and you just have to deal with it.
Hey, you know what? As a guy who sings quite a bit, that has an atrocious voice, I totally understand. I think I've deafened people.
Like, you have a beautiful voice.
Actually, one time I was singing in the vehicle with my parents, and my dad just looked at me and said, "You definitely didn't get that talent." And I was like, wow, just blunt. But we do have a double kill here coming in from Bananas Inc. as they do catch them out.
Bananas Inc. having a better performance here so far than he did in the early game last game on that Azir. See what happens when you don't first pick your mid laner?
Corki's just so strong and has so much burst potential, especially with that Thunderlord's Decree. Having that 1-2-3 proc, especially, you can get it off really quick with your Gatling gun. If you hit a Boss Bomb, really easy to follow up with an auto as well as a missile. So lots of way to proc that. And Harablo actually doing a lot of damage up here with that Corruption Pod.
He's trying to turn the tables here onto Loonshoe, but what?
Would one say he's turning the tide to Riptide? Oh man, that was good. Thank you.
I like that. That was
sorry. That was so bad. All right,
turning the tide. I like it.
All right, terrible, but they are going to get themselves the first dragon of the game. Hopefully, no one comes through and steals that.
I don't think they're going to. There will be dragon number 1 picked up here for Fellowship of the Nerds. Harablo more healthy in that top lane right now, and Loonshoe sitting at about approximately a third health. The dredge line gonna land. I think that was at about max range. There's those Riptides Dezanator was punning about earlier. Just gonna continue to chunk out Loonshoe.
Just keep going at him, and that's the thing. It's just not necessarily Nautilus having the greatest sustain, but does a lot of damage. And that's the thing. They definitely underestimate the amount of damage that he can output. That Riptide wave clearing quite quickly. He has the defensive stats from that Aegis of the Legion, so it's going to reduce a lot of the damage Maokai does, giving him a little bit of a beefier front line. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the old Banner ZZ Rot come out from him as that first 2 items. Being that split pushing Nautilus we know and love.
Do you love it? Do you love it, Dezanator?
No. Don't even get me started on top lane right now. You guys heard my rant the other night in Skype about QSS. This is like 10 times longer about top laning and TPs.
Yeah, it's kind of a goofy meta. I know a lot of people think that TP should just be taken out entirely.
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Stupid someone as well. But it is advantageous. It's just dumb that you have to worry about. Now, you know what? I can't get into this. We have a game going as Zero Invictus goes on to Bosgood here.
Little jungle on jungle action here. Zero Invictus getting the worst of it right now. The explosive cast being used. Bosgood looking for the solo kill. The charm goes wide here, but Oliver Closeoff gonna hop in. The Orb of Deception gonna finish that off as they turn that around on Bosgood. Zero Invictus just needed a little help from his friends there, like the Beatles, and they do pick up that kill, locking it up at 2-2.
And that's the thing, is it definitely looked like they were going to pull off. Looked very favorable for Bosgood. He did a ton of damage there. That Runic Echo doing a lot of work. But yeah, getting kicked into the RE, not much he could do. Trying to flash and then E over the wall, but he didn't want to get hit by the orb, so he tried to sidestep and sidestep back. But can't do much when you have Ignite ticking down on you.
Yeah, I think he kind of ended up getting the orb on the tail end there. But now Luke Duke is not going to go down yet as he lands the Glacial Fissure. But there we go, Chosgood finishes off the kill there. Baby Char got to be careful as Loonshoe out of nowhere cleans up that kill. Chosgood gets the kill in turn onto Copyright. So now it's a bit of a 1v2. We've seen Loonshoe outman before. Can he do this? The Dredge Line going to go wide and he cleans up Chosgood. Now it's just the 1v1. The top laners meeting up again in the bot lane, but here comes Bosgood. No Zac to slingshot in this time, but the barrel going to do some damage. But now Zero Invictus has roamed down, and we've got a 2v2 again, but with completely different players this time, as Harablo is the first one to go down. And now Bananas Inc. is going to join this fight. And man, this fight is bananas, if you ask me. As Zero Invictus goes in now, Bananas going very low, trying to Valk all over the place, flashes out at the last minute, and he does go down. Bosgood still surviving for now. Loonshoe, I think, has been in this bot lane the longest out of everyone, just showing that incredible survivability yet again that we saw from him last game. And here comes Oliver Closeoff, I think the only member not to show his face yet in this fight in the bot lane. And finally it's over, and in the end, it's in favor of RDS.
That was such a long fight.
Tell me about it.
That went absolutely nowhere for Fellowship. Just very uncoordinated. I mean, I gotta give props to Baby Truck. Holy hell, was that walks back, almost gets hit by True Shot Barrage, flashes it. He triple procced his crits against Luke Duke, got his crit, his trap, and then I believe he got a net as well. So getting 3 back-to-back crits on him, just bringing him down. Child's good finishing the kill. But then the rest of them coming down, and I think they just spent way too much time trying to fight with each other.
Yeah, that was just it was really just a rotating door of really every person on the Rift. You know, it was consistently a 2v2.
Bye-bye.
It was a consistent 2v2, but members were just rotating in and out as people were dying and coming back. But again, yeah, Loonshu was the longest surviving member of that fight, and you know, again, like I said, showing, like we saw from his last game, his ability to you know, survive and win outnumbered fights. As we have another fight going down, and this volley hit, the explosive cast gonna knock Copyrights back. The headshot gonna help out Baby Trog there, and that is Copyrights going down here. Fights going out all over the place here. As it's trading down in the top lane. Oliver Closeoff taking turn shots in the mid lane. And Bosgood was down there in the bot lane. Harablo's got to be careful now. Loonshu is just an absolute monster on this Maokai. Gonna dredge line to the tower to help himself get away safely.
And honestly, that fight in the bot lane has benefited Loonshu the most, getting a ton of kill participation there, and really now his itemization so far.
Well, Oliver Closeoff is gonna solo kill Corky there. Does need to be careful. Was taking some turret shots, but he gets out of it. Good advance there from Oliver Closeoff. Again, getting the better of Bananas Inc. having a better game than he had last game, but Oliver Closeoff still getting the better of him in lane.
Just the mobility of Ari and just the assassins, I feel like he's really... Well, it's kind of funny. Oliver is actually just keeps picking these assassins, and he's doing really well on them, finding the picks he needs to, getting the
dredge line goes down onto Loonshu here, trying to catch him under tower. The Riptide's going out, and Loonshu's taking quite a few shots, down at about a third health. Harablo might want to look to follow this up if he can. Looks like he's not going to have any jungle assists, though, as Bosgood is actually in the mid lane. That turret goes down in the mid lane, but we are seeing this 1v1 as these two are just sitting here autoing each other, as well as using all of their abilities. The Riptide's up yet again here, and Harablo is going to back off as he just can't take Loonshu down.
The one noodle is stronger than the other, might be a little more wet cut, a little more solid hit to it, because Loonshu, who takes a million turret shots, still doing more damage. A great crit there, getting the trap out.
Luke Duke got to be careful here as he is very low. Oh, Baby Trog not going to be able to snipe him off. He's not Bradley Cooper yet. No American Sniper, but he is going to take the shot onto Copyrights now, who is forced to Arcane Shift out. And again, no American Sniper for Baby Trog.
A little preemptive on the ulti, I think, going for the point-blank ulti. When you're still in attack range, you should still try and put down some autos down. You'll get more consistent damage.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, they keep getting blocked by the Unbreakable.
Blocked. Yeah.
Greasy.
So you were talking about the firmness of noodles earlier, so you could say that Loonshu's noodles, they're a little more al dente than Harablo's. That's a pasta cooking term for all of you culinary inclined people out there.
I can't cook very... Actually, I can... You know, I'm actually kind of proud. I can cook all right. I just choose not to.
Yeah, me too, totally.
No.
I'm actually a master chef, but I just choose not to.
One time I actually made quinoa and curry from scratch.
Wow.
And then I never made it again.
That's impressive.
But Chad's good in a lot of trouble.
Looks like no, I thought the Orb of Deception must not have been up to follow it up, and Baby Chad gonna out-duel Oliver Closeoff there with a little, I mean, Oliver Closeoff was a little low, but I really thought Baby Chad was going to get the poor end of that.
Happy Feet Wombo combo. That ain't Falco. He's dancing around. Doesn't get hit by that. Actually getting the speed burst from his heal, even though he was ignited, just to dodge the other side of the Orb of Deception. I believe it's true damage as he comes back, so good thing he doesn't get hit by that.
Dredge line lands on Azir Invictus, who might be caught in a bad spot now. Copyrights is Arcane Shifting, looking for kills here, but now he might be caught too far in the middle of Fellowship of the Nerds, but Harablo is the first one to go down here. Bosgood is forced to flash away, and Loonshu is on a rampage. The Maokai, after Fellowship picks up the Dragon, RDS just walks right in and picks up 2 kills for themselves.
Just so much overcommitment. I mean, they just keep turning around these fights very quickly on the side of RDS. It always looks like they get caught out, but their team always collapses quickly and turns around those kills. That Dragon may be a little greedy for Fellowship of the Nerds, but they do get it. Are they going to be able to turn the kill here, though?
Luke Duke, very low right now, is going to not burn down. Actually, I thought the last tick was going to take him down, but he's going to get out with his life. Low members of RDS, but overall, they trade... Fellowship trades Dragon for 2 kills.
And a little bit worth, I guess. They held the turret. They did get that second dragon. Not sure if first strike's worth it, but they're only down about 1,000 gold. So it's not like this game has been blown out of proportion or anything. They're still quite close in this game. They just need to find the right fights. But once again, Loonshu is massive. And I feel like that's going to be the part where they have the most trouble dealing with. They need to find picks and just go off of that.
Ooh, Chaw's good. Getting chunked out by Oliver. Close up there. Forces to spell shield himself there with the black shield. And I'm very impressed with Oliver Close-Off in this mid lane in these past 2 games here.
He's been really showing his prowess on this assassin, always finding the 1v1s.
Yeah, as now Baby Trog is showing up in the top lane, gonna try and take down this massive tree here, but he's just gonna retreat under tower. It looks like they will back off, but this should be the turret push here. Loonshu gonna do his best to fight them off. And we got a different 2v1 going on here. The explosive cast from Bosgood not gonna be enough to save his life as Zero Invictus picks up that kill. Just wrong place, wrong time there for Bosgood. As Loonshu now just gonna go in onto the full health Baby Trog. He doesn't care. The True Shot barrage coming in, but Loonshu finally does go down. Baby Trog picking up that kill, but here comes the bot lane of RDS to help defend this tower.
And very smart of Baby Trog to go up there because Maokai has itemized 4 AP damage dealers with that Spirit Visage, the Merc Treads, Bomby Cinder, Double Doran Spray. So really no armor items, so he's gonna be able to do it as a package.
Bananas Inc. showing off his big package here as he's gonna help pick up the kill onto Zero Invictus here eventually as Harablo flashes for it. Now gonna look to go into Oliver, close off the Frost Bomb, gonna help finish it off. The double kill for Harablo. Great package in there by Bananas.
Just a back and forth game. Once again, they're going back and forth here. Just kill, lead to lead to lead. Fellowship of the Nerds now ahead, finding the picks they need to. But this is very smart, bringing the 80 carries and the support back into the top lane. They have the turret advantage right now, so it's going to be easier for the Harablo to go bot, deal with that one turret and keep it, and let their siege from Caitlyn Morgana go at the Ezreal Braum. And we do have Bosgood here coming in for the gank.
God, that's a huge black shield on the Gragas. That's so big. He's going to look to go in here. Glacial Fissure comes out for the disengage, but the Explosive Cask is huge here onto Copyrights, and he's going to go down. Just knocked him right in the right direction, putting him right in the sight lines of Fellowship of the Nerds, able to clean him up, and they should be able to take down this turret as well in this top lane.
And once again, another turret pick and a great gank. And this is where we said that bot lane is going to be the dominant force. Caitlyn and Morgana just so oppressive, have a lot of wave clear, a lot of range. Ezreal needs those items to really get going. It does synergize quite well with the Braum as your Mystic Shots can proc the concussive blows, but you need to get in range of the Caitlyn who throwing out those headshots. And I mean, Baby Trog's been very good with his traps as well, laying them down in the fights, getting a lot of free headshots on people, procking that passive from those traps, getting a ton of damage down. And now they have those 3 turrets down. A lot better objective control coming out from
the dredge line from Oliver Close-Off. That must, I mean, I feel like I say this every time, but that looked like it was at about max range.
Max range?
Yeah.
Got the no, I'm not going there. Sorry, I gotta take that back. Can't make that comment. But I mean, that's the thing, is they're finally being a lot more objective focused here.
Yeah. So we've got ourselves another close game here in game 2. Just as we saw in game 1, we're post 20 minutes, and no, I guess Fellowship have themselves, approximately a 2-kill gold lead as Bosgood again using that explosive cast to take down Copyrights. The rest of the Goon squad comes in to help clean that one up. Second time Copyrights has been caught out by Bosgood there, picking up that kill. But I was just saying, just like we saw in the first game, Fellowship of the Nerds with just a small gold lead, but we've seen it go back and forth here, and just a very, very close game.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the I kind of gasped there. I thought Bosgood was going to get the legendary ulti into your already placed Q. The greasy combo. But this is what I like to see. Fellowship, a little more objective focus. They're rotating quite well. They're getting the vision in the enemy jungle that they need to and grabbing the turrets that they are able to siege. And once again, Luke 2 kind of caught out in a bad spot here as Corki, Caitlyn, the whole team is down there actually. They might just trade tier 2 for tier 2. But definitely don't think a Maokai can outpush a Caitlyn Corki, and that TP is going to be a waste as that turret goes down.
Luke Duke caught out now, tries to get out with the Glacial Fissure, but Baby Trog says nope and picks up that kill as Zero Invictus gets pulled back in and has to hop out here. The Dark Binding lands on a Copperhead, and he is so squishy. That is the double kill here for Baby Trog, and Fellowship of the Nerds are starting to push this game slowly but surely into their advantage.
So a couple kills into their favor. Ooh, it has that ulti available. That should be a kill. That was very well played. I was going to say in the top lane, Lucio getting that turret, but honestly, with the kills picked up, they may be able to siege this second tier turret. Is Ezreal not up for another 15 seconds? And Lee Sin definitely can't solo hold this turret. This might even lead to an inhibitor. If they do decide to go for it, Braum is back up. This might be a little greedy, might be forced to back off, but a great play there by Fellowship of the Nerds. I'm a little questionable on that TP choice from Lunshu going to the already low turret instead of optimizing a minion or a ward.
I don't understand where there should have been communications like, hey, like, don't TP to the tower. It's almost gone. And then that's wasted. Puts it on cooldown there for Lunshu, and then he's kind of just kind of shit out of luck up there. And this is going to be the Dragon. Fellowship does secure it. Zero Invictus in the pit now. Is he going to try and hop out? The Explosive Cask going to knock him back towards Fellowship of the Nerds. And Bosgood's Explosive Casks have been on point so far in this game. You know, they've just, every time he uses it, I feel like he knocks the desired target right back into the rest of Fellowship.
Yeah, his Explosive Cast definitely getting progressively better, finding the targets they need to. But I think the big thing is we've got Baby Trog, who is huge now, 7-1-3, has kind of those trinity of items we were talking about, the Runettes to spread the crits, has the Shiv, maybe going for a little more burst damage from the Shiv instead of the extra range from the rapid fire cannon. So, gonna help out. They do have a lot of wave clear with the Corki, Morgana, and Nautilus, but I think just wanting to go with that early spike damage.
Luke Duke, sorry, Loon Duke. I was combining the two names there. Loonshu now is the one getting caught out after Luke Duke here. Gonna do what he can here, but I think gonna try and go down to Baby Trog, doing some healing, but he should be going down here. Baby Trog picking himself up yet another kill. 8-1-3 on the Caitlyn, and this is the Baby Trog we're used to seeing. Really the main carry of Fellowship of the Nerds.
Yeah, I can't even say it. The big boy swinging here.
You can say that.
Nah, that wasn't what I was trying to say.
Oh.
I have a different term I use quite a bit. I'm sure you're familiar with.
No, I know,
but,
and you can say it.
No way. But Baby Trog, he's on that carry. He's got a champion he's comfortable with. Not that he wasn't comfortable with Ezreal, but I feel like Ezreal's a little bit out of the meta compared to most of the AD carries. Like, I think Tristana's stronger right now. Caitlyn, Lucian, Jhin, stuff like that. Just longer range AD carries, especially with these tanks coming through. A little more optimal for the team comps here, and he's just doing what he can, and he's got a great front line to peel for him. And they also have Bananas Inc. with that extra poke coming up from that Corki. Should be able to do a decent amount of damage. Actually going Maw as a second item, getting very defensive.
Yeah,
a little afraid of Oliver Kozlov. I think maybe PTSD kicking in there.
Yeah, just he did get killed a couple times in lane there, as well as last game. Just maybe just, you know, recognizing he's a little mechanically outmatched there by Oliver Closeoff and itemizing for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, and I mean, Fellowship has just done a really great job of finding kill after kill after kill. We saw Oliver Closeoff was 4-1, had a huge lead, but has really got caught out these last couple times. And it's really hard. There's so much CC. You've got the snare, you've got traps, you've got the lockdown from Nautilus with the hook, the ult, and his passive snaring you in spot. Kragas can ult you back, he can knock you up. So if they just need to keep up their vision control, and right now they've got a decent amount, a lot around Baron. They could even sweep the Baron and threaten a Baron play, try and bait someone in there and pick them off, because besides Loonshu and Luke, or I guess Zero Invictus, still pretty squishy. He kind of went with that man mode Lee Sin build, going a Hexdrinker second, just working on Dead Man's Plate right now, so he's still rather squishy. And if they can pick out one of those targets, it makes it a lot easier for them to siege.
Yeah, it definitely would be easier for that. So it looks like Fellowship of the Nerds, they are posturing around Baron. Yes, they have started, already got it at about half health here, and it is going down fairly quickly, and they might be able to take it out before any members of RDS are even in range, and they do as well. But Harablo going to go in onto Oliver Closeoff, who is just going to try and hop away, but the depth charge being used to try and catch Oliver Closeoff out, try and catch him with his pants down, if you will, but not going to be able to, but taking a ton of damage from Baby Trog, and not enough. Not the ult, not going to be able to clean it up, but the Explosive Cask is going to clean it up. Bosgood wasn't worth it, as he is very close to going down here, but now they're going to look to turn it around at Zero Invictus, as Baby Trog is absolutely legend. Wait for it. Dairy right now to Xaninator, as Luke Duke is going to be next on the chopping block as Bananas Inc. takes him down, and this should be this turret going down here for Fellowship of the Nerds, and what a great fight by them after picking up Baron.
I definitely think I misinterpreted the damage that this team would do. I thought maybe they would lack a little bit, only having the Corki Caitlyn not. Honestly, they are two of the highest damage dealing long-range champions, but wasn't sure they'd be able to pull it through. But so far, they're doing a big deal with it.
Yes, as that is the mid lane inhib tower and inhibitor going down as well, and they are just going to rotate down bot lane, and this will be the mid lane inhibitor going down fairly quickly as well. And there's really not going to be anything that Loonshu and Copyrights can do, as Copyrights is actually not going to go down here, as he is able to arcane shift out of the dredge line. Oliver Closeoff now coming up against, caught by the net from the Caitlyn, and he is returning right to the fountain. That's a round trip to the fountain there for Oliver Closeoff, as Loonshu gets locked up by a Dark Binding, and Baby Trog is just an not single-handedly, but he is not going to let Fellowship go down 2-0 in this series. He's just been an absolute madman on this Caitlyn in this game, as the first Nexus turret is actually down here, and Baby Truck picks himself up yet another kill, as the second Nexus turret is on its way down here at about half health here. 2 members of RDS are down, but Fellowship of the Nerds, some of them are a little unhealthy. Maybe you're going to want to be careful here, but they are going to wait for this next wave of Baron-empowered super minions, which is going to be huge for them, and that is the second Nexus turret going down here. Loonshu going to get knocked up and taken down yet again by Baby Trog. I feel like no one else in Fellowship of the Nerds has gotten a kill in the past 5 minutes until Bosgood just goes ahead and proves me wrong there. Oh, Baby Trog gets shut down, but the Nexus turret goes down here, and Fellowship of the Nerds secure. Not secure, but they keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, when it is the most important, Baby Trog steps up in a big way. Him and Shawsgood absolutely went off that game. 12, 2, and 6 on that Caitlyn.
Whew.
His second death, maybe being a little cocky, running at them in their fountain, but he picks up the kills he needs to, and he goes huge. And the front line he had in front of him, absolutely massive. And I know I thought the Maokai might be a little too much, but catching him when he's itemizing for the Nautilus with the Caitlyn was huge. They switch lanes. He gets that kill on him, and they were never able really to get to Baby Trog. And when they were at this point, he had Black Shield to break through the CC. He was hitting 3 targets at once, constantly throwing out crits. Very well played by Fellowship of the Nerds. That's a little more what we expect to see from them more consistently. But you know what? They kept their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, Baby Trog, just on that Caitlyn, that was a good champion because just so much range. He could just hang out behind that beefy front line and just do so much damage. And like you said, this is the Fellowship of the Nerds we expected to see. The Fellowship of the Nerds of old, just really I don't want to say they dominated that game, but they won it pretty easy-handedly. They had it for most of the game, and then once they had their advantages, they pushed them hard and they cleaned up Revolution Death Squad. And if Fellowship of the Nerds play like that in playoffs, these other teams, these other top teams, TMI, Viz Major, Argon 53, are going to have to watch out.
Yeah, I mean, Fellowship had their number last year. They pulled it out when they needed to, and this once again we kind of see them doing that. So, gonna at least force a tiebreaker, I think, for this third place.
Yeah, it's gonna depend how Lunatic Peace fares next week.
That's true.
Speaking of that, so this was technically week 7, the last week of the season, but because of the whole Anixia Esports dropping out and Lunatic Peace taking their place halfway through the season, Lunatic Peace have some makeup games to make up. Next week is when they will be making those games up. 3 days in a row, April 25th, 26th, 27th. Is that the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, so Monday they will be taking on Viz Major, Tuesday against Sasquatches, and Wednesday against Revolution Death Squad. So Lunatic Peace going to look to run the gauntlet, but, it's playing 3 games in a row like that, night after night after night, that I'm going to be interested to see if that has any fatigue effect on them.
I feel like it would be a little harder for them. They don't have as much time to prep.
Yeah, in between, like usually you have a full week going in and you can really only focus on doing your homework on one opponent. You can look, okay, who do we need to ban? But now, people have busy lives. I don't know if they're going to have the time to do the prep time for 3 different teams.
Gonna have to try, but I mean, if they can pull it out, I mean, sometimes you might get in a groove, right? They play their games that night, they win. They just kind of have that constant momentum. They don't have to wait a week to try and get back into it, but they also don't have the practice. But, I mean, going against Viz Major in their first game, if they're able to pull one out of there against the number 2 seed, that's going to be huge momentum going into the rest of the week.
Yep.
So that's going to be huge, and I believe we are streaming and casting those games as well.
I think we are. We're going to try our best here. I know I can only do the Monday game. I'm busy Tuesday, Wednesday, and I know as well Crafty Buck I will not be available all week either. So we'll have to see if we can get. There might even be some solo casting on, depending on everyone's available. You're available all week, aren't you?
Oh, baby, I'm always available.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, the Xanator's down to clown when it comes to SKL.
Yeah, so those games will be streamed and hopefully casted, so be sure to tune in for those next week.
Yeah, make sure to come in on Monday. That'll be Lunatic Peace versus Viz Major. I did it. I called them Lunatic Peace all day today.
You haven't incorrectly pronounced it once.
I'm
proud of you. I'm proud of you, buddy.
Thanks, man. Little steps. But, guys, I mean, as far as that goes, we got to give a quick couple shout-outs, I suppose. Talk about our beer night coming up on May 7th. We've got tickets for that here. I mean, it'll be May 7th at the Hose and Hydrants from 8 till 10 o'clock. $15 for a ticket. Come out and have some beers. I mean, right in the face. That was a thick stack of tickets. Kind of tickled my cheek. But invite your friends out. You know, you want to have some beers. You don't even have to talk to the admins or stuff. It's more just a social event.
Yeah.
Come have some beers. Hang out with whoever you want.
Really, it really has not like... You don't even need to tell your friends that it's for SKL. It's literally just a beer night. It's not like if your friends come, they have to play League of Legends. All they have to do is come and drink beer. So make sure to tell all your friends, regardless of if they're fans of esports or not.
Yeah, so just spread the word.
Yeah,
if you need a ticket, you can contact any of the admins through any form of social media.
Yeah.
You can definitely hit up Facebook. I believe we have an event page. You can go through there.
Yeah.
You can buy your ticket online if you'd like.
Yes, you can. Yeah, check out our website for that.
Yeah.
They're easy to get. You can even buy them at the door if you don't want to go to the trouble of buying them beforehand. You can just show up on the night of May 7th and buy a ticket for our beer night. And if you do get one of these tickets, make sure you scan the QR code because there is a fun surprise when you scan that. So it's not just one of those bogus fake ones to look cool. It is real. Do you know what's on the other end of this?
I do.
Okay, cool.
Leaked nudes of design. I mean, anyways, so that's a beer night. Make sure to check that out, guys. As far as that, we got to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. First off, SK League, right?
I don't think we don't get to shout out ourselves.
No, not ourselves. But wait, Widemouth Media?
No. Widemouth Media is no longer.
That's what I thought. I screwed that up.
Yes. So we will give a shout out to Manabar YXE. Saskatoon's premier esports bar, coming soon to a Saskatoon near you, late spring, early summer. They will not steal your mail. Be sure to hit them up on Facebook, Twitter, all those other cool social medias that the kids are into these days. It's going to be a great time. I can't wait for that place to open.
Oh man, it's going to be sick.
Yeah.
Drinking beer, watching LCS.
Let me tell you, if you ever want to see if you ever want to find the admins, that's probably where we're going to be.
Yeah, especially on LCS days.
Yes.
And especially extremely drunk. Okay, do we give a shout out to Mr. Russo, I guess, instead of Widemouth Media? Still our sponsor.
Yes.
Just not technically called Widemouth Media anymore. He is a entrepreneur himself.
Yes. So, it's not that we lost a sponsor. It's that Widemouth Media is just no longer under that name. They are still the same people behind Widemouth Media. They're just no longer going to that name. They're still creating all of the content, website overlays, all that good stuff for us.
We're still going to look amazing because of them, not because this is the way I was born. I've had some genetic enhancements.
Look, it says that you're Pawnox.
I just want to be Bailey. But, I mean, thanks, guys, for checking out. Another big shout-out to Skillouts for running everything.
Hey!
Appreciate the snot out of that person.
A weird way to put it.
Well, I mean, I've ruined it, but we still got to keep the mystery alive. You got to come to the finals to check that out.
Yes, but yeah, we may have ruined the mystery of what exactly Skillos is, but you can't really fully understand and appreciate it until you see the myth, the legend in person.
I guess also, if we're showing up beer night, come check out the live finals at the Sandman Hotel on May 14th, 15th.
We got to start advertising for that the weekend after the beer night. It will be the top 4 teams so far. TMI, Team Malicious Intent confirmed to be there, Viz Major confirmed to be there, and is Argon 53, have they locked up yet?
No, because if Lunatic Peace runs the guy. Well, right. No, I think they have. Yeah.
I'm not really sure, but it is going to be a great time. Hosted at the Sandman Hotel, the live finals. I mean, if you were at the live finals for our last split, it's just an overall great time. So we hope to, see more of you out there this time.
Yeah. So I've been Blake Xanator. This has been Kevin Big Booty Bodie. See you guys later. Check us out on Monday.